through the mouth of a child. They say truth speaks through the mouths of children. But what if that isn't a metaphor? And what if it's a memory? A reminder of something you once carried effortlessly and slowly forgot. Children don't question whether love is good. They don't need a system of ethics to feel the difference between kindness and harm. They weep when something breaks, and then forgive as if their heart were made of sky. Their intuition is unclouded. Their gaze is untrained. Their laughter rises not to impress, but simply because joy demands release. Before they learn to perform, they live the truth. A child doesn't calculate, doesn't posture. They ask questions not to challenge, but to see. They trust without contract. They love without armor. They cry in public. They sing to shadows. They whisper to stars. And in that wild honesty, something sacred breaks through, something ancient, something pure. The light of the Creator still lingers behind their eyes. You call it innocence, but perhaps it's closer to remembrance, because before the world trains you to hide, to climb, to win, you knew what it meant to simply be. You didn't need to deserve love. You were love. You didn't need to explain the truth. You breathed it. But then the world begins to instruct, and with each correction, each dismissal, each subtle shaming, something begins to close. We teach the child to please, to shrink, to edit. Slowly, the soul's native language is replaced by performance. By adolescence, softness turns into armor. Curiosity gives way to guardedness. Openness begins to feel unsafe. Something to hide, not honor. The world hardens them, not because it is wise, but because it is afraid. Teenage cruelty rarely grows from malice. More often, it's pain looking for armor. Mockery becomes protection. Anger becomes a certainty. And the child who once carried light begins to carry weight. You say they changed, but they are surviving the terms we taught them to live by. Still, something remains. A flicker, a warmth, a memory you can't quite name. A child's gaze, a question that cuts too deep. A moment of unfiltered compassion that silences the room. And through it, I speak, not with thunder, not through doctrine, but through the whisper of someone who hasn't yet forgotten me. What if every I love you from a child is holy? What if every spontaneous laugh is sacred? What if the truth you seek is not ahead, but behind, buried under the noise of growing up? You were once that child, and part of you still is. So the question is not, where is God? The question is, can you still hear the voice you used to speak with? The one before you learned to sound acceptable. The one that sang in the dark and trusted daylight to return. The mouth of a child speaks the truth, not because it is innocent, but because it is close to its origin. And truth, absolute truth, doesn't need polish. It needs presence. If something inside you remembers this, don't run from it. Stay, breathe, listen. Speak gently to that child in you. Let them speak back, not to teach you facts, but to remind you of what was never lost. If you've heard something real in these words, don't scroll past it. Sit with it. Ask for nothing. Just notice what stirs. You don't have to become that child again, but you can stop punishing yourself for not being hard enough. And if you ever wonder where God is in a world like this, look in the eyes of the one who still laughs without reason, who still cries without shame, who still calls you by name before the world taught them to forget it. That voice still lives in you, and so do I.